jump into it! The first game to include sound was Pong, but it wasn't the first game to include music. Pong didn't have music, it was just... The first game to include music was technically Simon in 1978. Speaking of Simon, Simon Says. You know who also says words? Japanese composer Koji Kondo. The video game music legend. I think he's the most influential composer in video game history. He composed the very song you're listening to, which I'm pretty sure you know. He's also got this one on his belt. This one. And this one. Pretty sure you get the idea. He's kind of a god. Now let's jump in to the real stuff. The eras. 1980 to 1990. The start of the gaming boom. These 10 years saw the release of the most iconic games of all time. Donkey Kong, Pac-Man, Tetris, Super Mario Bros., and Final Fantasy. You think of video game music, you kind of think of these. 1990s to 2000s. This was the era when everything kind of jumped. Like technology jumped. You kind of got out of the bits. Right? They had 16-bit in the early 90s, so that was like SNES, stuff like that, Sega Genesis. So this era probably brings some of my favorite tracks. Ocarina of Time. Pokemon. Doom. Street Fighter 2.
Round 1, fight!
Metal Gear Solid. Now that the history lesson's over, why is it so important? Why does playing a game and having music in the background matter? Well, music is needed to convey a mood, a vibe, a feeling one should have while the character's in a specific area. This goes for movies too. Most of the things video games have adopted kind of come from movies. A great recent example of good music in specific areas is Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. Its audio design is fantastic. From walking through an open field to riding, you could ride through the same field and walk through the same field, and the design would be completely different. When you're on a horse, it's a little faster. When you're walking, it's a little slower. You could go to the same field at nighttime. You'd have the same song, but in a more quiet, slower pace. Another example is like when you enter a water city. It's very methodical, magical, and gentle. And if you go to the opposite, the Fire City, it's the complete opposite feeling. It's clumsy and loud, and it's full of a bunch of dumb people. The Fire City is full of a bunch of dumb rock people, and the Water City is full of a bunch of smart water people. I wish I was a water person. Meet Aquaman or something. Another example of insane people is Rockstar Games. They recorded every single line of dialogue twice, if one's close up and one's far. If I'm riding my, it's a cowboy game, right? So if I'm riding my horse next to my buddy, one more job, we get the money. And then if I just like stop moving and he keeps going, he's like, we're going to Tahiti! As I get closer, he'll start talking to me gradually. They recorded the entire game twice. One if you're 10 meters away from the dude, and one if you're really close. Another example of dynamic music to change your game is one of my favorite games of all time. And that is Marvel's Spider-Man. The music in this game changes whatever you're doing. If you start running off a building, it's kind of quiet, nothing's happening because you're not really moving that much. As soon as you jump off, it plays this epic song and it's like... When you start swinging, the music swells up. And as you keep going in the air, the music will get louder and louder. This theme is the best Spider-Man theme, web swinging theme. Better than Homecoming, I Love You, Tom Holland. Better than Andrew Garfield's web swinging theme, though that one is pretty good. Tobey Maguire, don't even get me started about that guy. It's a good movie. Tobey Maguire sucks. It's terrible.